So I'm making this video because I kind of just wanted to put my thoughts out there, like somewhat anonymously. Um, Even if nobody sees this video, it sort of just feels nice to talk out and write out and plan out my thoughts in like a video essay type of way. Um, so a little bit about me. I'm 22 and I'm pretty much fresh out of college. I graduated like 6 months ago. Um, I studied engineering and ended up with a job in doing robotics, which I enjoy a lot. I've been enjoying it a little less recently due to everything that's been kind of going on in my life, but my job gives me a good amount of freedom and challenges me every day, which I think is a good thing. It's definitely the career for me. But where I've personally been struggling is with my interpersonal relationships. So me and my girlfriend from college broke up a few months ago, which hit me pretty hard. Um, She was my best friend and someone I genuinely saw as a life partner for myself. We were together for about 8 months, and during those 8 months, I just fell completely in love with her like no one I'd ever dated before. We had some tough times, like nothing too crazy, but and like we worked through them like you do. And I was fully invested, and I thought like things were going pretty much perfect. But then one day she went through a traumatic event. Um, she did some thinking and decided that she didn't think we were meant to be together. Um, Over the next month, she lost feelings for me and decided we should break up. This was my like first real tough breakup with someone I was genuinely in love with. Like I've had relationships in the past just fizzle out. I've broken up with people because of like obvious mutual incompatibility, but this was the first time where I was fully invested and I thought things were really going somewhere, and it just kind of ended like that. So me being super emotionally mature, I didn't take it super well. Like I didn't go full like psycho crazy ex stalker mode. Didn't like call her any mean words, didn't do any of that, but I did act a bit wishy-washy and I poured out my like feelings in a kind of desperate like please come back sort of way that with a couple months of hindsight now I'm not super proud of. Like I kind of wish I just held the L and moved on. I would have felt better about how I handled it. But because of that, she ended up blocking me probably for both of our sake. Um, losing her left me kind of reeling in this like whirlpool of a ton of bad emotions. Regret was the first one I felt. But that was the most confusing one, is it she hadn't really given me any specific reason or anything I did wrong, more just um, small involuntary character quirks I guess I had that she felt made us incompatible in the super long term. Um, and those kind of just slowly built up until she had this realization, I guess. Uh, but yeah, still kind of confusing. But your brain just puts you through like, what could I have done wrong to cause this, basically. I also feel this kind of general sadness from losing someone who I considered like this perfect girl that made me so happy. And it kind of just feels like, even though I know it wasn't really a fumble, like I didn't do anything to set this off, I don't think it was my fault, genuinely. If anything, it was, we're not meant to be or whatever, but it still kind of just feels like there were things I could have done better in hindsight, and I can't help my brain from just re-racking those over and over and over. But the worst part, by far, though, um, and this feeling has been lingering for the entire kind of recovery period, and it probably will for a long time, if not forever is this like existential dread that I'll never find somebody else, that I'm not good enough, that she was this one in a million person that gave me a chance that I didn't deserve. And now that things didn't work out with her, there's no way they'll ever work out with anyone else. Um, Social media is definitely the worst fucking thing ever in this part of figuring your stuff out. Like the only reason I still have social media downloaded, like I'm talking about like Instagram and TikTok, like the main like doom scroll type stuff. The only reason I still have them downloaded is because I'm in group chats that I kind of desperately want to be a part of, because if I'm not, it feels like I'm kind of losing a connection to the friends I to the friends I have left. And after getting abandoned like this, it doesn't wouldn't feel great to lose those avenues of connection. But the downside of still having those apps installed is I'll just catch myself doom scrolling on them. And of course, all you see all day, like the apps know you're going through a breakup. All you see all day is dumb doomer breakup shit and like self improvement gym cell videos. Like the self improvement ones aren't as bad, but the doomer stuff like really fucks with you because it just reinforces what your brain already wants you to believe. Like it really screws with you when you're already down and out. It's so easy to just be going through a really tough time and you see your like 15th depressing anime reel about, I don't know, basically never finding love again. And it's just filled with comments about people getting cheated on and giving up. Like social media just puts these thoughts in your head that giving up and making the gym your only outlet in life is normal, and that a large percentage of us are just doomed to die alone, which is a fucking terrible message to be taking in, especially when your self esteem and hope and drive are at an all time low. But but yeah, if I had to give like some advice here, which I'm not really suited to give because I'm still going through this shit myself, it would be that if you're going through something similar to this and you don't have much tying you to social media, just get rid of it for a while. Like get rid of it until you're healthy again. The only thing keeping me from deleting them is the fear of missing out on connecting with my friends, but I think I would have been better off if a couple months ago I just straight up went complete cold turkey, because the thoughts it kind of being on social media during that phase of my life put into my head are still, I'm still like basically trying to convince myself they're not real. And it really screws with your mind and tries to give you this super negative, like chronically online view of the world. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just basically trying to work my way through those feelings and come out of the other end okay. Like I don't want to turn jaded or bitter, because I know those things just lead you to having even more trouble being happy in the future. Like being a bad person brings you brings you bad things for sure. Social media definitely tries really hard to lead you down that route, like radicalize you, turn you into this monolith, lone wolf, emotionally dead being who like kind of the corruption of stoicism. So if you're going through something similar to me, like you got to be really careful about that, I think. The best kind of coping strategy I've found is to find something positive to self-medicate with and pour all of the newfound like energy and time and anger and or resentment or dread, all of it into that activity, as long as it's positive. It can be anything you want. For me right now it's climbing. um, but I mainly just want to go all in on something that one day when I'm hopefully over all this stuff, a couple years or whatever, and ready to move on, I can be proud of myself for pursuing and see how far I've come with it, and look back and be like, damn, maybe that time wasn't so bad. Like kind of gave me the motivation to do this great thing in my life. So basically, give yourself a goal that you're excited to see yourself progress towards. Um, for me, it's helped increase my super low self confidence, get me outside my room, and most importantly, I think remind me that the world isn't entirely what you see on social media. In fact, I think that's by far the minority, like the 5%, 3%, 1%. Mostly everyone else is just out there living, and the only thing that's stopping you from joining them is yourself.